Guten Tag. This is the Tag Heuer Monaco classic chronograph watch from classic German watchmaker Tag Heuer. Not really sure how you pronounce it. I suppose to my English ears I'd just say Tag Heuer. Anyway, that's by the by. This is it's a watch from the early 2000s, and it's kind of classic square chronograph style, isn't it? Very attractive. It's the CW2119, this model, and if you are familiar with that, or if you then go and have a look online, you will actually find it looks more like this. And that's because it actually comes out of the factory with a mother of pearl white dial. You see that sort of mother of pearl sheen. Really, really pretty. So that's what the watch originally came with, that dial. And you can tell that because the date wheel is black on white. Somewhere along the line, someone has asked for the black dial to be put on, and they've thoughtfully kept the mother of pearl dial in the box with the watch. So that's why it might look a little unusual to you if you're familiar with this model. I'm not familiar with this model. This isn't even my watch. I stole this off a homeless man who I saw begging outside the supermarket. I gave him €5 and stole his watch. I think he was happy. Anyway, that's not true. This is my friend's watch. I'm just reviewing it before I give it back to him. So let's have a look at the watch, shall we? First of all, the reason you're all here is the ruler. So I'm going to measure it for you. It's quite a big watch. Now, square watches are difficult to measure because you're not really sure where to measure to. So it's 37 millimeters across. There, is it 30? You can sort of see the sides bulge slightly. So 37 millimeters. I mean, what does that mean? Well, I know what it means, but in real life, 38 millimeters tall. I'm thinking that it's probably 38 millimeters wide, you know. Yeah, it's more like 38 millimeters wide, but at the bulge. Anyway, it's kind of what it is, square with a slightly bulgy cushion shape at the edge. Difficult to describe. The lugs are pretty big. Yep, 22 millimeter lugs. The lug to lug, it's an imposing watch. It really is. 47 millimeters, and it's a good thick watch. So I'm going to measure the actual watch itself is 1 centimeter thick, but can you see the domed crystal there? Sticks up quite proud. So with that all in, we're talking 13 millimeters tall on your wrist. So pretty chunky. Lovely big chunky watch. So I'm going to show it to you on my 7.5 inch wrist. We'll have a look at all the details in a bit, but that's what it looks like on my wrist. Sorry, let's just get it in place. There you go. I mean, it's not subtle. Let's just leave it at that. So whilst we're here, let's have a look at the bracelet. This is the original bracelet. What's that? Sort of lizard? Snakes. This is not my normal sort of watch. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, it's got the tag. Yeah, you can see the logo shape is repeated here on the buckle, and it's got a little butterfly clasp. You push the little buttons, opens up. It's very nice, very comfortable. The bracelet, the strap is Tag branded. Yeah, it's a good, comfortable bracelet. Nice. Oh, another cool thing about this is it's quick release. So if you want to just change the bracelet out, you just pull the little lever and away you go, nice and easy. Whilst we're on the back, let's get the back out of the way. It's 4 screws to keep the case back on. It says Monaco. Hang on, let's get that focus so we can actually see. Bear with me just a second. There we go. That looks better, doesn't it? So it says Monaco, Tag Heuer, Swiss made since 1860. The model number CW2119, the serial number, and then water resistant 30 metres. So 30 metres isn't 30 metres. You can't go 30 metres deep with this. Have a look on the internet if you're not familiar with water resistance ratings, because 30 metres doesn't mean 30 metres. It just means splash proof, really, and you wouldn't even really wear that in the shower. So it's fine for everyday use and in the rain and doing the dishes. Right, let's get to the front. So we have I'm going to deal with the case first. Big square silver case. It's not silver, is it? It's stainless steel. Shiny polished bezel. And then if we move to the watch sides, then it's brushed. So are the lugs. And unusually, but as it should be, brushed in between the lugs. Often watchmakers forget that bit and leave those shiny, so that's nice and brushed. The tops of the lugs are polished to match the bezel, and if we go around the side you can see the edge, so the brushed stops at the bezel and is nice and polished all the way around. It's very, very handsomely done, and then the polishing starts again as the plane changes, as it cuts into the case back, and again it's polished edges, brushed back. Lots of brushed and polished contrasts, really cool. Then we've got the pushers and the crown. So the pushers are big recessed fellas and they're polished. And the crown is, the focus is tricky on these little fellas. The crown is signed, nice chunky knurling. Pop it out, first click for the date, and second click for the time setting. And as you can see, it's hacking, so this is the second hand here, sorry, this little fellow is the second hand. So let's just change the time. There you go, you see. Let's get that right out of the way down the bottom, because I'm going to change the date as well. So let's push it to the first click. No, wrong way, hang on. There we go. Okay, so changing the date and then time, usual sort of affair, but with the not insignificant advantage of having the second hand stop hacking, so you can set the time really nice and precisely. In there is a automatic chronograph calibre 17, which is a Tag Heuer movement, and I'll read to you from the booklet that it tells you all about the movement. So this is what it says. Your chronograph is equipped with a self-winding automatic movement. Each movement of your wrist activates the rotor, which winds the spring and keeps your watch functioning. Completely wound up, your watch will continue to function for approximately 42 hours, which is very good. Your chronograph combines the technical features of an authentic sports watch. So for this model, water resistance up to 30 meters, luminous hands and hour markers. You can see the loom there on the little dots on the edge of the time buttons, the hour buttons, and in the center of the chunky sword hands. Leather strap, folding buckle, security push button, scratch proof sapphire crystal, except for the Monaco, which is equipped with a plexiglass crystal. So this plexiglass crystal is really quite something. It's square, domed, beveled. It's awesome. Just on its own, it's awesome. And this one is absolutely flawless, mark-free. I'm angling it into the light, and I think it's just finger marks that are just shining off it. Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's flawless, which is cool, which is nice, which is very nice. Let's continue with the little tour of the dial. So at 12 o'clock, there's a lot going on, isn't there? I must admit. At 12 o'clock we've got the Monaco, which is the sort of legendary model. Underneath that the logo, printed, Tag Heuer, there printed away. Hidden beneath the chronograph second hand. Let's get the second hand going. Good firm pusher there. Nice and smooth chronograph seconds. Off it goes. Over here at 3 we've got this rectangular second hand, and that second is the watch seconds, with a stubby little second hand spinning away. And we've got 10, 20, 40, 50 marked on the dial. Then let's go down to the dial at 6. Now that dial is, I don't know what that dial is actually. I just assumed I knew what it was, but I don't know what it is. Let's have a quick look in the booklet. Whilst I'm doing that, it says it's a 12-hour timer. Oh right, gosh, so you can time 12 hours. That's kind of unusual. Then at 9 o'clock, it's the minute countdown. Okay, so the central seconds is the chronograph seconds. The bottom dial, which is circular, is our 12-hour timer. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And then over at 9 is the 30-minute timer. Yeah, that makes sense as well. You can see that it's already started to turn around and has counted a minute so far. Let's press stop. Stop. Okay, so the chronograph second hand has stopped. I'm going to reset it here. Now watch carefully because it goes very quick. So it's reset. I think that's called is it a flyback? So it's gone back to 0. Perfectly zeroed. Everything's perfectly zeroed. The minutes here zeroed. The seconds there zeroed. The hour there has zeroed. And meanwhile, the little seconds is ticking away as before. At 12, we've got this huge double baton. Then the hours are delineated by these shiny sort of I don't know what you'd call them, 3-dimensional silver battens with big square of loom at the ends. Then the date down here at 6, and underneath there is written Swiss made. The three the three subdials are all different. The minute subdial got lots of gradings, whatever those dashes are called. The 12-hour subdial down here is quite sparse, and the half an hour subdial over here has fewer. So all a little bit different. Makes the watch look interesting. Quite busy. Quite a lot going on. And in terms of busy and going on, there's lots of different angles and shapes. Now, if I tilt it, you can see the dial has lots of different angles going on, and catches the light in different ways. Can you see the corners here, the way the dial is sort of cut out and shaped, curved at the top there, swerving, swooping, and then the inner ring, again, slightly different plane, and those subdials again are sunken. You can see now, when it's straight on you can't really tell. When you look at it at an angle, you can see the sunken, sorry for the light reflection, but you can make out, can't you, those sunken subdials. So loads of different planes, angles, reflecting light going on in the dial, as well as with the plexiglass and the case. So it's a very, very light hungry. It's happy to play with light, this watch, and that's really unusual as far as I'm concerned. Makes it really a little bit special. That's it for the Tag Heuer Monaco CW2119. I hope you've enjoyed it. My little tour of it. As you know, as regular viewers will know, I'm not an expert. I have a look at the thing, we look at it together, we take a little guided tour, but I'm by no means an expert. I don't know what's ticking away in there. I think it's a relatively traditional 28,800 beats per hour movement, but caliber 17. I think that's a good one. Anyway, comment below if you've got something to say. That would be really nice. Keep it positive. We kind of need it positive these days in our current situation, don't we? Don't bother disliking. I mean, it's easy to dislike stuff. Just move on if it's not for you. Have a look around my channel. I do lots of other watches and knives as well, and EDC. I'd really appreciate a subscribe. That would be really cool. Thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you soon.